Have you ever had that feeling? You've worked your socks off on a job, you get the payment statement, and bam, there was a big chunk of money just gone. It is so frustrating. If you're in the construction game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It can be super confusing, maybe even a little alarming. You're left thinking, wait, where did my money go? Is this some kind of new tax I didn't know about? That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a system that affects literally thousands of people across the UK, but honestly, it's so often misunderstood. Well, today we're going to change that. We're going to demystify it for you once and for all. To help us break this all down, we're using this fantastic guide put together by the experts over at Pro Tax Accountant. These guys specialize in helping people in the construction trade navigate these exact issues every single day. So we're in really good hands to get to the bottom of this. So let's dive right in and start with the absolute basics. What exactly is the construction industry scheme, or as pretty much everyone calls it, CIS? Okay, this is the single most important thing to get your head around right away. CIS is not an extra tax. Let me say that again, it is not a new tax. It's simply a way for HMRC to collect the tax you'd have to pay anyway, just in advance. Think of it like a prepayment towards your end of your tax bill. The contractor takes it at the source, sends it straight to HMRC for you, and it just sits there waiting for you to file your tax return. In the world of CIS, there are two key players, the contractor and the subcontractor. Pretty simple, right? The contractor is the business paying for the work. They're the ones responsible for checking you with HMRC and making the right deduction. The subcontractor, well, that's the person or business doing the work and getting paid, minus that tax deduction. And here's a little pro tip for you. It's so important to know which hat you're wearing because you can actually be both. Say you take on a big job and hire some other trades to help out. Well, suddenly you're a contractor and you've got all the responsibilities that come with it. Now, you might be asking, does my job actually fall under CIS? Well, the scope is huge. Basically, almost any work on a building or structure is covered. So whether you're doing the heavy lifting, like site prep and demolition, or the finishing touches, like decorating and painting, yep, you are almost certainly covered by CIS rules. All right, now for the part that really matters to your bank balance, the numbers. How much actually gets taken off? Well, it's not the same for everyone. It all comes down to your registration status with HMRC. And believe me, the difference between the three rates is massive. First up, the big one. The rate you absolutely want to avoid at all costs. A whopping 30%. This is what happens if you're not registered for CIS, or if your contractor can't verify you for whatever reason. It's basically a penalty rate to make sure everyone gets on the books properly. I mean, losing almost a third of your invoice value right off the bat, that can seriously hurt your cash flow. Next up, we have the standard rate, which is 20%. This is the most common one. If you're properly registered for CIS with HMRC, this is the rate your contractor will be told to use. It's still a decent chunk of money being held back, but hey, it's a full 10% better than the higher rate, which makes a huge difference. And finally, the one everyone wants. The goal for every established subcontractor, 0%. This is what's known as gross payment status. If you've got a great track record with your taxes and your business meets certain turnover tests, you can apply to get paid in full, no deductions. This is a total game changer for managing your business finances, as you get all your money up front. Now, what's really interesting here is when you see it all laid out like this, it's crystal clear, isn't it? The financial incentive to get your admin sorted is huge. Just being registered drops that deduction by 10%. That's an immediate boost to your cash flow on every single job. And getting to that 0% gross payment status, well, that can completely transform your business. All this theory is great, but let's make it real. How does this deduction actually impact your final tax bill when you get to the end of the year? We're going to walk through a quick real-life example to see exactly how it all works out. The process when you file your self-assessment tax return is actually pretty logical. It really just follows these 6 steps. To show you how, let's imagine a self-employed plasterer from London. We'll call her Jane. So, in the 2025/26 tax year, Jane has a good year. Her total income from all her jobs is £45,000. Now, she's smart, so she's kept great records of all her business costs, materials, tools, insurance, you name it. Those come to £7,000. So we subtract her expenses from her income, and that gives us her taxable profit, £38,000. This is the number HMRC cares about.
Now, throughout the year, because Jane is properly registered for CIS, every contractor has deducted that standard 20%. So 20% of her total £45,000 income comes to a cool £9,000. That's how much has been sent to HMRC on her behalf already.
Okay, now it's time to file the tax return. Jane's accountant calculates her final tax and national insurance bill based on her £38,000 times profit. After taking her personal tax-free allowance into account, the total amount she actually owes for the year is $8,632. Now, stay with me. The next point might surprise you. And here is the brilliant part. The tax she actually owes is £8,632. But the amount she's already paid through CIS deductions is £9,000. She's overpaid. This means HMRC owes her money, and she's due a tax refund of £368. This is exactly why tracking your CIS is so important. It's your money, and getting a refund is the best news you can get from the taxman. And that leads us to an absolutely crucial pro tip. Your contractor is legally required to give you a payment and deduction statement every single month. You need to treat these documents like gold. Seriously, they are your official proof, the evidence you need to show HMRC how much tax you've already paid. Without them, getting your refund is so much harder. Okay, so far we've been looking at this from the subcontractor's point of view. But what if you're the one paying the bills? If you're a contractor, you have a very strict set of rules to follow, and getting it wrong can lead to some really nasty penalties from HMRC. It really all comes down to these 5 key jobs. First, you have to register as a contractor. Second, and you can't skip this, you must verify every new subcontractor with HMRC online before you pay them. That's how you find out their correct rate. Third, you deduct the tax. Fourth, you file a monthly return by the 19th of the next month detailing everyone you've paid. And finally, you pay all that money you've withheld over to HMRC. That's not all. Here's where most people go wrong. You have to file that monthly return even if you didn't pay any subcontractors that month. A nil return is still mandatory. Whew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, haven't we? From what CIS is to how it works for both subs and contractors. So let's just pull it all together and quickly recap the absolute must-know points to keep you out of trouble. So, what's the crucial point here? It's all about being organized and proactive. Remember, CIS is just your tax paid in advance. If you're a subby, get registered right away to avoid that killer 30% rate. If you're a contractor, verify everyone. And for both of you, keep every single piece of paper. Do that, and you'll not only stay on the right side of HMRC, but you might just end up with a nice little refund just like Jane. Look, even with a guide like this, tax can be tricky. Your business is unique. Your situation might have a few quirks. Maybe you're a contractor who's a bit worried about the verification process, or you're a subcontractor who thinks they might be owed a refund from a few years back. So, what's the best next step if you're still a bit unsure?
Honestly, when in doubt, just talk to a professional. The team at ProTax Accountant live and breathe this stuff every day. They can give you advice that's tailored specifically to you and your business. You can give them a call, drop them a message on WhatsApp, or send over an email for help with CIS or any other tax questions you've got.
And hey, if you found this guide useful, do us a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. We're always putting out new guides to break down complex stuff into simple, easy-to-understand advice. Thanks so much for watching.